Welcome to Sustainable Horizons, the podcast where we delve into inspiring stories of individuals making a difference in the world. I'm Robert Kibet, and today we embark on a journey to the rural villages of Kisumu and Homa Bay counties in Kenya's Lakeside region. In this oasis of hope, we'll be speaking to remarkable women and youth who are shaping their lives through the transformative power of regenerative agriculture. Welcome. In the tranquil village of Kotiang, perched on the shores of Lake Victoria in Kenya's Lakeside region, a narrative unfolds under the relentless equatorial sun. Yvonne Otieno, a devoted mother in her early 30s, navigates her routine, transforming her life and her community through the embrace of regenerative agriculture. Yvonne's day begins at the fish pond, where the rhythmic sound of water reflects the dedication she brings to nurturing her aquatic companions. Her younger daughter, eager to share in the magic, joins her mother in this harmonious dance of life.
People go for jobs, but there's that fear that one day I'll retire, then what will I do after retirement? That one I don't have, because I have the privilege of doing what I love, and it is continuous. There's no day I'll retire from it, maybe only when I am dead. Farming has actually increased our income. I've been able to learn more about business just through farming, because I've learned how to handle customers, I've learned how to sell things that I didn't know before. What I was taught was, if you do something out of passion, even if it fails, you will still continue doing it.
The scorching sun bears witness to Yvonne's unwavering commitment as she meticulously tends to her thriving crops. It is a commitment that echoes across the fields and resonates with the largest purpose of rural Kenyans facing the climate crisis, a purpose rooted in sustainable farming practices and the hope they nurture for their communities and the environment.
First, I developed passion, even though agriculture may not be the ideal kind of job that youth would want to do today, but it is very rewarding. When you wake up in the morning and you see plants are growing and they are flourishing and they look so beautiful, it is very rewarding. It's something that you see with your eyes. The education system in Kenya teaches us how to get white collar jobs, but when it's not there, what do? We first identify the resources that we have. So anyone who is waiting for a better pay or better life, this is where we have to begin.
Atieno, much like numerous young smallholder farmers across Africa, is embracing regenerative agriculture as a means to enhance diversified revenue streams. A 2022 report by the International Union for Conservation of Nature highlights the potential for regenerative agriculture to generate millions of jobs by 2040 in Africa, offering hope in the face of climate change. The report emphasizes the pivotal role of regenerative agriculture in mitigating climate change impacts, with soil acting as the second largest carbon sequester after oceans. The report further indicates that by 2040, it could sequester around 4.4 gigatons of carbon dioxide equivalent, a powerful force for change. Atieno, armed with vermiculture training, practices a sustainable farming technique that involves cultivating red Italian worms. These tiny creatures become instrumental in producing vermijuice, a nutrient-rich liquid serving as an effective foliar fertilizer.
Vermiculture is a practice of agriculture where we keep worms, and these worms are reared for feeding of animals, and they are also used for decomposing farm waste. So it is one of the things that are used for waste management, and then we found that it was a good supplement for fish food. We were also feeding it to the chicken, and we were trained about how we can use these worms to produce juice. There's a juice that they produce after digesting the farm waste. It's called vermijuice, and vermijuice is a good foliar feed for plants. The ratio that you use is actually less as compared to commercial fertilizer. You see, 1 liter of the vermijuice, you will dilute it to 10 or up to 20 liters of water for you to use. So that is very economical. And at the same time, it is good for the environment. It's not something that you are worried of, that it will deplete the soil structure.
Mark Odoyo, a father of four, also treads the path of sustainability. In the early morning light, his fingers dance through the kitchen waste, where redworms squirm and intertwine, a daily routine before tending to his cattle. Mark's resilience shines through as he dedicates acres to cultivating Napier and stevia grass, providing a sustainable solution to both feed his cattle and contribute to the local community. In the past, I heavily relied on synthetic fertilizers and pesticides. Nowadays, I make my pesticides and fertilizers using organic material. I've also received training in sustainable farming techniques, including the use of repellent plants. Due to persistent drought, we opted for crossbred dairy cows. My 2 cows now provide me with 5 to 8 liters of milk daily. When I plant capsicum, I also grow coriander on the side. About 21 days after transplanting, I harvest coriander for the market, allowing capsicum to mature. To overhaul Kenya's food system, the government has developed the Food System Transformation Pathway Plan, anchored in international commitments. Atieno, like many smallholder farmers in this region, has benefited from a 5-year initiative project dubbed Transforming Rural Economies and Youth Livelihoods. According to Akinyi Walenda, the Africa Director at Practical Action, a non-governmental organization that focuses on using technology and innovation to address the practical needs of people in developing countries, embracing regenerative agriculture empowers a new generation of farmers, redefining their narrative and making a positive impact on both destinies and the prosperity of local communities. And as the sun sets on Ngura village in Homa Bay County, Boniface Otieno, a 27-year-old farmer, cultivates tomatoes without synthetic fertilizers or pesticides, facing challenges posed by hippos invading farms along Lake Victoria's shores.
Farming entails a lot. It entails determination, hope, and patience. First, you use a lot of money. Kwanza in synthetic, you go to the agrovet, you buy, everything is money. But when it comes to organic farming, it's just things you are seeing, you always see them, you meet them, like waste.
Boniface's success story resonates with the echoes of determination, hope, and a commitment to organic farming. In this symphony of sustainable farming, regenerative agriculture becomes a melody, harmonizing with the land's heartbeat. Thank you for being a part of this podcast. I have been your producer reporting from Kisumu on the shores of Lake Victoria. Until we meet again in the next upcoming podcasts. Thank you for being a part of this podcast. I have been your producer reporting from Kisumu on the shores of Lake Victoria. Until we meet again in the next upcoming podcasts.